So, we just got done watching Sailor Moon, Season 1, Episode 10. 10 episodes in now.
Yeah. Cursed Buses. Fire Senshi Mars appears.
Or, North American title, An Uncharmed Life. The North American titles are always a lot more, to the point, not to the point, but just like...
Well, uninteresting. I mean,
yeah,
frankly.
uninteresting.
Yeah,
really,
there's a lot less energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's a lot more basic.
So, at the beginning of this episode, I noticed that... sorry if I cut you off there, man.
Hey, no, it's not a problem.
But I noticed that there's the theme. I think this was only referenced in the first or the second episode. It was the silver crystal being something that Queen Beryl and Jadette were searching for in an effort to, I mean, I don't even know what the effort's for. It's the big mystery. But they're looking for this thing called the silver crystal.
Yeah, and I think it's all gonna come back to like the harnessing of human energy. So this crystal must
be the core of human energy.
Yeah, or at least play a huge role.
Yeah, but it's sort of the MacGuffin, as they call it, to the show. Yeah, it's an expression.
Oh, okay,
whatever. So this episode opens with after the little preamble with Queen Beryl expressed actually noticeable disappointment in Jadette because he has failed now 9 times, right?
9 times,
yeah. He's failed 9 times, and she's
9 episodes,
and he's a little embarrassed about it, and he's going to do a better job trying to take down Sailor Moon and Sailor Mercury and Luna.
And the way he tries to do so this time is working at this amulet shrine.
They called it an amulet shrine,
and it's where you could get amulets for love. So schoolgirls, in particular, would go there and be really into a certain boy and get amulets, and he was working there, and he was just drawing a lot more people into coming.
Yeah.
Using his ton of power. And
because he's noticeably attractive.
Yeah, he is.
Which he hasn't been referenced as before, despite the fact that Usagi has interacted with him in various costumes and characters. This time he came off as attractive. She even, sort of in a brief fantasy sequence, very brief, she sort of compared her lust or love for him to that of her love for Tuxedo Mask.
Yeah. That was a quick scene. So, she was thinking about people she was in love with.
There's this bus, and this is the beginning of the episode. Yeah. There's this bus station where it's the number 66 bus, where basically the bus just starts. It disappeared. It disappeared the day before, and nobody knows what happened. Everyone in this area where this bus stop is completely still and sort of stopped and sedated.
Yeah.
And I noticed this is a bizarre sort of anecdote, but I noticed the police sirens sounded very strange, but I found it very pleasing.
Okay. Yeah.
They had this very sort of like distorted, almost telephone kind of quality.
Yeah, I mean definitely. I mean that could also be our setup here.
It could be. I mean, I think though it also just could be a product of the time. I also noticed that Sailor Moon says "dope" in this episode.
Yeah, which I hadn't seen before.
No,
but that was just the English translation to her going "oh"
or something like that. But yeah. But perhaps I feel as though it may have been a reference to The Simpsons because this episode did in fact air in '92. Yeah, The Simpsons was on to its second season. And
it was blown up. So I mean, that could have just been like, and especially because we're watching the subtitled version.
Yeah, exactly.
And which came out in North America in '95, so that had already been Simpsons had already been huge by then. Yeah. And then we meet this grandfather of the girl that's working at the amulet shrine. And he's offering all the girls that are coming, you can be a part-time shrine maiden, and he's hitting on them. But then his granddaughter comes in to say, no, like Grandpa hits on everybody regardless of gender or anything like that.
He's just a huge flirt. He's sort of like he's an extreme version of Master Roshi from Dragon Ball. I found a parallel between that. I
haven't watched much Dragon Ball. I mean, when was Dragon Ball was like
around the same time. It might have actually. Yeah, the manga was before this, but I don't know if that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, I was like 7 or something.
So. Ray, which is the name of his granddaughter, who turns to be a major character further in the series, as far as I can tell, is because she's revealed in this episode as being the next Sailor. Sailor Mars is added to the cast of characters in this one. Yeah, and her character from what we saw in this episode was more of a strong, like a strong,
strong,
like very strong-willed, hardworking, headed, and she's a fortune teller, which is a theme that is repeated in this show again. Yeah. Amulets, gems, etc., and fortune telling. So she's
all
a fortune
to do with
teller.
human, just energy and mind control and all this stuff. Love, lust, all this. And then Ami says something when Usagi's having the fantasy about Tuxedo Mask and talking about love, and she's like, "Oh, like, what do you mean you don't love?" Because Ami's like, "Oh, I need to go to school. I need to get." I need to study. I can't think about that. And then she's like, if you don't know what real love is, you shouldn't use the word so lightly.
Yeah, and that's very potent.
But that makes me think. So I was starting to think about how Ami's the quiet type, intellectual.
Yeah.
And I think she might have been hurt in the past by someone that she was really in love with, and that's why she takes it so close to heart.
Maybe it has something to do with their family, or maybe
something.
Not.
But I feel
they
like
are 14. They're on 14. They haven't necessarily had their first love.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
but we'll see. I mean, I feel.
I think there's something though. There's something going on.
It'd be interesting to see if we get a romantic foil for Ami. But in this episode, I also noticed Usagi reverts to her crybaby ways a little bit more than she has been.
Yeah.
There's a lot of her. She's very hesitant to get on this bus that takes people into sort of a purgatory world.
And it even one point she says, "I don't want to live like this anymore."
In which she snaps out of it quite quickly.
Yeah,
but
as we're meeting more sailors, it's made me realize that Usagi is kind of not weak, but she's not as strong-willed as
Ami or Ray.
Exactly.
Or Mercury and Mars.
Yeah, and I think it's just because she got thrown into it in some. I don't know. She was always a little hesitant with everything. She was always crying. She's always late for school. She seems to have these tendencies to just be weary of certain situations, and she just seems like an anxious kind of gal, you know.
And so when they face off with the bad guy, the Yuma, at the end of this episode, Keegan, I believe was the name of the Yuma in this episode, the monster of the week. She uses the Moon Tiara action, and the monster grabs the Moon Tiara, and then Sailor Moon goes tricked ya, and then the Moon Tiara wraps around.
Yeah, that was an insane.
And so that's. She's learning to use her one move in different ways now, which is quite exciting because that's just some new stuff.
And it happened like this, like so quick. She hit it with the Moon Tiara action, deflected it, and then wrapped it right.
Yeah, fantastic. I love that. That was great action. This episode was noticeably more fast paced than previous episodes. They cranked a lot more into it.
That seems like a theme as well. Like the episodes, like we'll see it kind of a not boring, but just like. Generally slow, kind of filler type episode, and then we'll get hit with a new sailor.
With one of these, we got hit with a new sailor, and quick. I appreciate this, and I very much love this character archetype that Sailor Mars portrays. I prefer Mercury as far as I can tell. We'll see how she evolves.
Yeah,
but Mercury is the strong silent type, right?
Yeah.
But so there's something about Mars where she's quite a bit older than the other sailors.
Definitely a little sexier.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, or I mean she's a little more attractive.
Yeah. And she's but she's bossier too, and she's just had more life experience, and that's clearly gonna turn out well. Yeah. Luna seemed pretty excited. Did you notice that Luna seems to have more respect for Ami?
Yeah, no, she does. Yeah. Because Ami's just Sailor Mercury is just like a very just strong character. She seems very like
she knows how to use computers. She works hard.
Things go she's kind of a leader type. She's definitely.
But Ray is more of a spiritual a person working at this shrine amulet. She seems to have a control of fire. And so Ray's move, Sailor Mars is his first move that she uses is called Fire Soul.
Yeah.
And it is explosive. It is nuclear level.
Yeah.
It just blew this bad guy right out of the water.
Yeah.
Just certainly no pun intended. And just huge just huge flame, like much larger scale than any other move we've seen from bad guys or good guys thus far, which is incredibly exciting.
Yeah.
Maybe we're gonna get some bigger action going forward, and that would be fantastic.
And my one complaint, I mean, it's not even really a complaint because it is. I like the comforter, the comfiness that comes with this. Tuxedo Mask swoops in to kind of save the day to a certain extent.
He just drives the bus out of purgatory,
out of the purgatory black hole
world
thing. Yeah. So it's like, how are we gonna get out? And then he's like, and then he arrives, and it's like, and that's a consistent theme every episode. Tuxedo Mask somehow is just like conveniently there, like he's needed for some little thing. I hope they draw away from like using him to fill in these spots where
they don't need tuxedo masks. They're perfectly capable on their own. You know, these are strong women. I noticed too that even Ray was kind of allured by Tuxedo Mask. Maybe not as head over heels, but she definitely was like, yeah, I like what this guy's putting down.
Yeah,
and has a little dig at Usagi for being in love with him.
Yeah, and then she's like, I think even Ray says that love might be one way, and then Usagi balls. She starts crying her eyes out, and then the episode ends on her just crying her eyes out. So I hope to see a little bit more strength coming on Usagi's end. A little bit more
especially
drive,
when two out of three of them are far stronger than her now.
So you know she needs to kind of step it up.
But I'm excited to see more Sailor Mars. I'm definitely really looking forward to seeing more Sailor Mars.
Interesting. Make her an interesting
her action. Well, and I'm curious to see how their powers actually work together. Because Ami got left out in this episode. She sat and prayed. Prayed with her disguise pen.
Yeah, because she missed the bus. She missed the bus too.
She prayed, and she's never late.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really looking forward. This was a great episode. Definitely a lot better than the last one.
Yeah.
The last one sure was artistically great, but this episode was
way more.
It was a great story.
More of a
great characterizations, and just a lot went on. Great action, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where we go with some of this Sailor Mars. All right, thanks for watching, guys.